Here on the night team, it started small and has now grown to a major event making national news. A revival of healing and comfort that's been going on for a full week at Asbury University in central Kentucky. The evangelical Christian school is located in Wilmore, just 20 minutes south of Lexington. WHS 11's Alexis Jones and photojournalist Jessica Fardley and Ian Hardwitt have more on the crowds packing the small town.
The power of worship.
Reverence.
Hundreds waited outside of Asbury University's chapel to be a part of the spiritual breakthrough.
I'll wait 10 hours if I have to. It's worth that.
I would not have missed it for $1 million. I had to come to be in the presence of the Lord.
Wilmore, Kentucky is 2 lanes in and out, and cars jammed the little town. Some drove across the country and even the continent.
We're up in Canada. We all have schedules and children and things. We just felt like God is moving on the earth right now, and we want to be a part of it.
What began as a group of Asbury students worshiping and praying after chapel last week turned into a revival that's been going on for days.
It's just been really beautiful. It's been so peaceful. It's been so orderly and just joy-filled. It's been wonderful. Everybody is here for the same purpose, to worship God.
Communications Director Abby Lobb adds they opened up 2 more chapels on campus to handle the overflow, but many remained in line to receive what they traveled for.
Encountering the presence of God and being refreshed and remembering just how faithful God really is.
The university says it doesn't know how long the revival will last. Service will continue Sunday afternoon. In Wilmore, Kentucky, Alexis Jones, WHS 11 on your side.
A worship experience that was expected to last only a few hours turned into a 24-hour revival, gaining global attention. WDRB's Jalen Level shares why Asbury University says it's shifting the revival in a different direction.
This is Hughes Auditorium inside a non-stop revival, bringing this massive crowd. But now the university says it's adding restrictions. For nearly 2 weeks, a worship service has seen no end.
People's lives because of this event has changed.
Inside and outside, lines form with hundreds hoping to be in the number.
I know Brazil, I heard somewhere in Asia, Europe.
That's just scratching the surface of locations thousands have journeyed from.
You know, every tongue, tribe, and nation, it's here. We're seeing it.
Yet others' journey to a small Christian college has brought a few challenges for students like Ken and Yan, who call the campus home.
And sometimes it can be a little hard for students because we are more than used to, having a small campus and having these spaces privately to ourselves. And now it has become more and more public, so sometimes it can get a little annoying.
The university says it's implementing restrictions. The final public evening service will be held on Sunday, but public worship will continue in the afternoon through February 22nd.
I feel as though, maybe we were the candle, and now we're just passing that flame on to other churches and other schools.
Starting Monday, the afternoon services will be open to the public, but the evening services will be reserved for high schoolers and people 25 or younger. After Friday, 24th, evening services will be hosted at other locations.
We recognize life for these students has to return to normal. They have to go to school. They have midterms next week.
In a statement, University President Dr. Kevin Brown said, and quote, "The schedule is an attempt to recognize and steward this beautiful historic moment of spiritual renewal, while quickly moving toward a more sustainable campus experience for our students."
They know this is a gift that they have received. It is a gift, and so we are going to, kind of charge them with, okay, now you take this to your job, your family, your church.
But as nonstop services approach its end, there's a hope that the mission inside and outside continue. Reporting with photojournalist Josh Horton, Jalen Level, WDRB News.
Holy, 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 is Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all expression of your name. Yes. Jesus, your name is power. Let the living water start to march history. Holy, 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 Lord God Almighty, who was and is to come. With all creation I sing, praise to the King of Kings. You are my everything, and I will adore you.
A huge influx of college students in a small Kentucky town, and it's not for a music festival or a sporting event. Thousands are joining a nonstop religious revival that started nearly 2 weeks ago at Asbury University. And since then, Asbury Revival has exploded across social media, but the attention is really becoming too much for this small school because it only has an enrollment of less than 1,700 students. News Nation's Nancy Liu is live in Wilmore, Kentucky. And Nancy, there are some real safety concerns here.
Yeah, because the crowds were getting too big, but things are very orderly now. Asbury officials have been working to stem the number of people coming here to be part of this historic revival, and young people are driving this. This is a long line of young people, and this is for a special worship service just for high schoolers and Gen Z. You may have heard about the marathon worship service that lasted nearly 2 weeks that just came to an end yesterday. Now, Asbury plans to limit the number of public events now. They are winding down, but still hundreds of people are coming.
To be overcome by your presence.
Uplifting music and long lines have become a staple on the Asbury campus, where word of a revival has people flocking here from all over the country and even the world.
We're both students from Sydney, Australia.
What made you up and think, we got to go to Kentucky?
Man, well, you know, we live in a digital age and how everything goes so viral nowadays, and you know, this was trending on Instagram and TikTok.
These ladies heard about it on Facebook. They hit the road immediately from Pike County, Illinois.
Wait, the spur of the moment. We had like an hour to get this put together and get in the car and get on the road.
Why?
For Jesus.
We can feel your presence like a blanket.
The buzz about Asbury started during a regular worship service back on February 8th, when students stayed and prayed, posting to social media and turning ordinary into extraordinary. And the gathering is far bigger than the 1970 Asbury revival, when social media didn't exist.
When I look at what has happened over the last couple of weeks, whether or not this is a revival, a renewal, an outpouring, an awakening, I do not know.
University President Kevin Brown is still comprehending what's been happening, which has sparked revivals at other colleges, including Samford University in Alabama.
It was just pure, like, authenticity, and people just raising their hands, confessing sins, like just being redeemed.
Back at Asbury, 4 alternate chapels and locations are handling spillover worshipers. It is faith runneth over.
If you look at what's going on in the world, especially with Gen Z, you know, rates of mental health and issues and depression and suicides, they're never higher than they've been, and that's tragic.
It's given us so much hope, and we want to come and witness that hope, you know, and see the answer to our prayers in person.
Now, while the nonstop worship service has ended, additional public services have been added, and people are waiting hours and hours in line, and they get in. There is so much positivity, and people are leaving here changed. The hashtag Asbury Revival on TikTok has nearly 80 million views. Nicole.
Yeah, it really has gone viral. Okay. Thank you, Nancy. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
And although Asbury has since ended this historic revival on Sunday, it is not the end of their worship service.
Let's go to Nancy Liu live in Wilmore, Kentucky with more.
Adrian, classes have resumed here at Asbury University, and officials are working to get things back to normal on campus, but it will definitely take a while with word about the Asbury revival, the latest one, still traveling around the world. It is suspected there are even more people who are on their way now to the heart of Kentucky, inspired by that massive outpouring that unfolded here over the past 2 weeks, 312 straight hours of joyful worship. Officials estimate the crowd swelled to over 10,000 at times, nearly twice the population of Wilmore. The Asbury Revival hashtag went viral on social media when students here spontaneously kept worshiping after a regular service on February 8th. And as word spread, college students and Christians of all ages began arriving here. The marathon worship ended Sunday night due to growing crowd concerns among local officials. Now only one more campus service for the public is planned for tonight, and that will be limited to people under 25. Many believe this revival has clearly ignited a new spiritual awakening.
I think it's time for people who've come so far from near and far to experience this move to go back to wherever they came from, to spread that there.
You can't leave something like that and not be changed and not have an urgency to share it with the rest of the world.
With more people likely on their way here, school officials are working to accommodate potential new crowds with possible new worship services for the public somewhere off campus. Officials tell me it is a nice problem to have to deal with too many people wanting to come together to celebrate their faith. Adrian.
All right, Nancy, thank you so much. Much more to come right here on Morning in America. We start now.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.